Oh, I was just about to have a popsicle. Hi, how are you doing? I'm David Mello, Supervisor of Children's Services here at the Fall River Public Library, and I love popsicles. I don't know about you. My favorite flavor happens to be cherry. And this reminds me of our first story. Our first story is about popsicles, but have you ever had a popsicle that was made of the moon? Well, if you have not, I think you will enjoy this story. It is called Moon Pops by Hina Bayek. Now, some claim there is a man in the moon, while others say there is only cheese. According to Korean folklore, when you look up into the night sky, you might see a rabbit pounding ingredients with a mortar and pestle. Interesting folklore. Moon Pops. It was a very, very hot night in the middle of summer. It was much too hot. Too hot to sleep, too hot to do anything. Everybody turned on their air conditioners. They turned on their fans. Rattle, 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 rattle. They opened up their fridge doors. Hum, hum, hum. And they closed their windows to the heat, hoping to finally get some sleep. I know how hot it is, how hard it can be to sleep on a hot night, don't you? And there's everyone trying to get a good night's sleep. Drip, 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 drip. What was that sound? Drip, drip, drip. The moon was melting. My, it is a hot summer night. Granny ran out from apartment 503 with a bucket to catch the falling moon drops. What do I do with this? She wondered. An idea popped into her head. A moon pop idea. Granny mixed a recipe for a frozen treat. She poured in the melted moon, saving a few final drops. Ooh, look at the mixture. It's glowing. The air conditioners whirred, the fans rattled, the fridges all hummed. Everyone is so hot in that apartment. Until suddenly, uh-oh, all the lights went off. All the whirring and rattling and humming had caused a power outage. Everybody stepped outside. It was almost too dark to see. One bright light glowed from apartment 503. Everyone followed the light to Granny's door. Granny stepped out to greet her neighbors with the frozen moon pops. She handed them out one by one. They were icy and sweet. And they glowed Look at that. As everyone licked their moon pops, something strange began to happen. The heat was melting away. Back home in their beds, everyone slept with their fans and air conditioners turned off, their fridge doors shut tight, and their windows open wide. Their dreams were icy and sweet. Well, Granny's moon pops did the trick, didn't they? Knock, 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 knock. Who could it be now? Look, what strange rabbits. Granny welcomed two strange rabbits into her home. She felt she had seen them somewhere before. "We come from the moon," they told her. "Our home has melted away." "Oh, how terrible!" Granny sat and wondered what to do. Her eyes fell on an empty flower pot sitting on the kitchen table. What is she ever going to do? Let's find out. Suddenly, an idea sprouted. A moon sprout idea. She poured the last of the moon drops into the pot. And sure enough, an evening primrose bloomed. It grew big, bright, and round like the moon. The petals opened up to the night sky. Isn't that beautiful? And it's glowing too, like the moon. Granny and the rabbits waited. A small spot of light sprouted from the flower, lifting high up into the darkness, and it grew bigger and brighter and rounder into the moon. The rabbits cheered and danced back up to their home in the sky. At last, Granny got into bed. She wished for dreams that were icy and sweet. "Good night, everyone," she said. And that is moon pops. What a very interesting hot summer night that was. Our next story is about a very, very hungry plant. Not the kind of plant you would want in your home. Trust me on this one. And it is called The Hungry Plant by Nato Mariconi. One beautiful morning, a little plant sprouted. Where's the plant? Oh, it's way down there. Look how tiny it is. And it was hungry. But the sun did not satisfy its hunger. Because it was a carnivorous plant. That means it's a meat eater. That's why it ate a caterpillar that was passing by. Then it ate a butterfly. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. Then it ate a spider. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. Then it ate a gecko. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. Then it ate a rabbit. And you guessed it, the plant grew, and so did its hunger. Oh my goodness. Then it ate a gymnast. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. Then it ate an acrobat. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. Then it ate a parachutist who happened to be a cow. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. I'm afraid to turn the page. Then it ate the entire airplane. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. Oh my goodness, it's becoming a giant plant. Then it ate a flying mammoth, and the plant grew, and so did its hunger. Then it ate a bunch of witches. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. Then it ate some aliens. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. Then it ate a dragon. The plant grew, and so did its hunger. That plant's getting too big for the page now. Then it ate an angel choir. The plant grew. But its hunger was finally satisfied, so it stopped eating and rested. What's that? What could that be? The plant's getting eaten. Then the carnivorous plant was eaten by a hungry herbivore dinosaur. The end. I guess that plant won't be eating anymore. It just got eaten. And that's the very hungry plant. My final story that I'd like to share with you is called Nobody Like a Book. And no truer statement could be said. Books can take you anywhere. And this story is by Alan Wolfe. Nobody like a book. We learn important stuff from books. We learn to speak and think. We learn why icebergs stay afloat and why Titanics sink. We learn to play harmonica. We learn to bake and cook. We learn to read and write. There's nobody like a book. But books are only smears of ink without the reader's mind to give the letters meaning and to read between the lines. So step aboard the Book Express. It's waiting at the station. But can you guess the address of your final destination? The greatest nation in the world, your own imagination. I've learned to name the planets and to track a distant star. I've learned to bottle moonlight and to calculate how far. A solid rocket booster sends a shuttle into space. I learned to build a telescope to see space face to face. This homemade pinhole viewer even lets me see the sun. There is nobody like a book to show you how it's done. My launch pad is a science book. My mind's a constellation. The only rocket fuel I need is my own imagination. I've climbed the heights of Everest, one hand behind my back. I've seen the sights of India from high atop a yak. I've anteloped in Africa and kissed a crocodile as I was sailing all alone along the river Nile. I'm quite the global traveler. I've been to every land: China, England, Russia, Rome, New Guinea, and Sudan, New Zealand and Australia, Yugoslavia and Perth, Canada and Kathmandu, Dallas and Fort Worth. That's a lot of places. But although these wondrous places hold a certain fascination, the greatest nation in the world is my own imagination. I visit any world I wish and never leave my chair. There is nobody like a book to make me feel I'm there. So step aboard the Book Express. It's leaving from the station. The only ticket needed is your own imagination. Whatever are you waiting for? The adventure starts today. Just grab a book from off the shelf and you're on your way. So I'd like to invite you to visit the Fall River Public Library, get your own book from our shelves, and start your own wonderful journey of the imagination. Thank you for listening to today's stories, and we'll be seeing you here at the Fall River Public Library.